guys. Well, the month of August is here, and that means it's time to start talking about back to school. And our topic for this week is backpacks, so stick around. Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Dr. Heather Sossaman, and I'm a pediatric physical therapist. And in this week's video, we're going to be talking about one of our most important school supplies, and that is our backpack. Now, backpacks come in all sorts of sizes and shapes and colors and patterns. The one I carry for work has pink flamingos on it. But whether you want polka dots on your backpack or Pokemon, there are several things that you need to consider to make sure that you have the right backpack that fits properly and keeps you safe this school year. So the reason I wanted to talk about backpacks today is that they have a lot of impact on our spines and the health of our backs. Now, I've done a couple videos in the past on our spines and posture and the muscles around our back, and I'll link those videos up here if you'd like some more information. But the short version is this. Our spine is made up of a column of bones called vertebra. And in between each of these bones is a small disc that provides cushioning and shock absorption. Now, our spine is not a perfect tower that goes straight up and down of bones. Instead, it has some small curves in it that allow our bodies to distribute our weight and move efficiently. Now, if we have a backpack that isn't the right size or doesn't fit properly, it can affect the alignment and the muscles and the function of our spines. So, in order to prevent that and the associated pain that might come from it, we're going to talk about the best backpack for you and how it should fit. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the backpack itself. The backpack should be made of lightweight material because we don't want to add any more weight to the pack than we're already carrying. So a good lightweight material is your best option. Second, you want to make sure that your pack has nice wide shoulder straps that are padded. Now, the straps are important because they help distribute the weight across your shoulders so that it's not all concentrated into one area. And if the shoulder straps aren't padded and wide, they can tend to dig into that tissue in your neck and shoulders and cause damage. Things like tingling in your fingers or pain in your neck and shoulders. Third, you want to make sure that your backpack has several compartments so that you can distribute the weight evenly throughout the pack. If you only have one opening in the top, when you load that pack up, all the weight is going to be located in one central area. Whereas if you have some side pockets for things like water bottles, you can distribute that weight more evenly. Next, you want to make sure that the backpack fits properly. Now, we've all seen those little pre-K and kindergarten kiddos that have backpacks that are bigger than their whole body, and that's not right or safe. So we want to make sure that when we're choosing a backpack, it's no wider than the width of the torso of the child. Next, we want to make sure that it sits about 2 inches below their shoulders. And third, we want to make sure that the backpack doesn't hang down any lower than 2 to 4 inches below their waist, preferably the 2 inches. Next, we want to look at how we pack our bag and how much weight we put in it. So when we're packing our backpack, we want to use those pockets that we got because we want to make sure that the weight of what we're putting in the bag is evenly distributed so it doesn't feel like it's concentrated in one central location. Next, we want to make sure that we put the heavier items toward the back of the bag. So if we have maybe a textbook, a laptop, and a folder, well, the textbook and the laptop are the heavier items. So those are the ones we want to put near the back of the bag so that they're closest to our body. And that's important because they feel less heavy the closer to the body they are. So if you think about a gallon of milk, if I pick up a gallon of milk and hold it close to my body, it feels, pretty decent to carry. It's not that big a deal. But the further and further I move that gallon away from my body, the heavier it feels. And the same thing goes for the backpack. So keep those heavy items close to the back. And finally, we want to think about how heavy we're making those backpacks. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that backpacks weigh no more than 10 to 20% of a child's body weight. Now that becomes really important in little kids that don't really weigh that much, so it's absolutely something you need to keep your eye on. And the reason why the weight of the pack matters is that the weight of the pack directly impacts the spine. And here's how. When we put on a pack that weighs too much, our body automatically adjusts to bear the weight of the load. So if I put on a backpack that weighs 60 or 70 pounds, my body is going to want to fall backwards because that pack is way too heavy. But in order to keep me upright, my body is going to automatically adjust, pull me forward, probably pull my head forward and hunch my shoulders forward so that I can bear the weight of the pack. Now, if I do that all day long, every time I change classes, walk to the bus stop, get on the bus, walk through campus, over time, that's going to have a detrimental effect on my spine, on those curves we talked about that keep my spine upright, and on the structure and function of my spine, ultimately leading to postural abnormalities and probably pain, which we absolutely don't want for our kids. So make sure that you keep as much weight out of the pack as you can. And finally, we want to look at how we're carrying our pack. We want to make sure that the shoulder straps are tight enough so the backpack sits about 2 inches below our shoulders. We don't want those straps super loose and having that backpack hang way down. Second, we want to make sure that we're carrying the backpack with both shoulder straps, not just one. And I'm the first to admit, in middle and high school, it was very cool to carry your backpack on one shoulder, which I did all the time. And I have to say, at this point in my life, I wish I hadn't. If you have a waist belt on the pack, make sure you put it on and tighten it up so that it helps distribute the load. And finally, we want to make sure that when we are putting our backpacks on and taking them off, we're using proper lifting techniques. Now in next week's video, I'm going to go into a lot more detail about the proper ways to lift, but in short, we want to remember that when we pick our backpacks up from the floor, we're using our legs, our knees, and our hips to squat down and pick up the bag. We're not bending over and using our back muscles to do it. And if you can, the best way to do it is to carefully pick the bag up from the floor, put it on your desk, turn around, and then put your arms in the straps so you're not trying to carry the weight of the load while you get it on. Well, that's all my tips and tricks for you guys this week on backpack safety. If you have any other ideas, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. As always, there will be a full blog post on my website, pediatrictherapyessentials.com, to go along with today's video. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you enjoy these videos, please be sure to do that. Well, I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful week and a wonderful back to school, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye!